Good morning, everyone, and welcome once again to Reselling 101. Today is part 6 of 10, taking photos. And this section is going to be all about how to take great pictures. Great pictures can make a huge difference and ultimately hook your buyer and sell your stuff, right? Your words are important too, but we're going to cover those in another section. So let's dive in, shall we? I've been looking forward to this part of Reselling 101 from before it even began, because as some of you may know, photography is my passion. I actually went to school for it. And we're going to start this morning with me sort of simplifying some things for you. First of all, let's just all do the big deep breath, yeah? No experience or expertise is necessary here. And I'm not going to flood you with photo vocabulary and hard to understand stuff. We're going to simplify some things, give you a foundation to build upon, and go from there. There's a good possibility, because we're going to cover kind of quickly and briefly a lot of things today, that we're going to have to turn this photography section into a part 2 and possibly a part 3. So here we go. I started to take pictures a very long time ago. And some of you may not even know what this is. Oh yeah, you know, it's a camera. But this is the original SLR, single lens reflex. This one takes film, which we don't really use anymore. And I was so grateful. I've kept this for all these years. Used it in college, actually. Love it. My son actually has it on a shelf now. So there's many ways that you can take your picture. Not too many people in the digital age are using this kind of camera, though. When you hear someone say point and shoot, they're talking about one of these. It's just a simple camera, digital camera, where all you do is point it, press the shutter, shoot, you're done. Memory card, you're all set. A lot of folks also use, like we do for their listings, will use a cell phone, smartphone. This is an iPhone 6S. I love it. The file sizes are great. There's many different functions on the camera that help to make your picture as well. So moving forward, we're going to use this as we set examples. Currently, when I'm not taking pictures on eBay, this is my camera of choice. I love this Nikon. We can use it for videos and listings as well. But for this purpose, remember, we're going to keep it simple, use what you've got. And a lot of you do have smartphones, so let's just use that as how we're going to take pictures. Very first thing, lighting. Everybody talks about lighting. The best lighting is natural lighting. It's 100%. It's going to give you the most natural color. You can, which means you're maybe going to take it on your back porch in the sunshine. You can use a flash to help better your lighting. You can get hanging. There's lots of different lighting add-ons that you can get. We can use a hanging shop light. There are different lighting kits, which I can't show you mine because they're pointing it at me right now. But you'll hear people talk about a soft box or an umbrella light. But these are all things that can help bring light, more natural light, to your photos. You'll also hear the word Kelvin thrown around a lot. And with photo boxes or light boxes and umbrella lights, we're going to get a special sort of bulb that helps balance that out. And you're also able to use direct light or indirect light. This is all going to make sense in a second, I promise. But direct just means you're pointing your light source directly at the object or subject. In this case, we've got one light, indirect, bouncing off of the ceiling, so it's shooting the light up and down. And this light over here is actually shining directly on me. And there's pros and cons to both. You're just going to have to experiment with that. You'll also hear photographers or people trying to help you take better pictures on YouTube talking about white balance. And white balance is just that. It's true white. What brings you to, when you take a photo of, say, a shoe, and here I have one that has white beads on it, if your light is not true enough, that white is going to come out yellow. If it's too hot or too cold, that means the kelvins are going to be higher or lower, and we're not going to get bogged down in that. Somewhere in the middle is going to be our natural light, but if it's too hot or too low, the colors are going to come out yellow or reddish, that white. And then if it's too cold, they're going to come out. Your whites actually, you'll notice, will turn blue. So with practice and adjusting your light, you can certainly make your colors more accurate. You'll see that we have a background here of white, and whenever my phone gets confused, I'll simply point it at a white. You can use a white board, a white sheet, any sort of true white, and that will, it's also a test on a camera, but you can bring your photo device back to balanced on white and then start again. So that's something to think about. If you're struggling, start with your light source. And a lot of folks, like I said, will use the sun. If you're able to do that, awesome. Fluorescent lights aren't good because they're going to not give you true color. And that's what we're going for, is the true color. So we've got how we're going to take our pictures out of the way. We've got our lighting, and we've sort of defined and understood that it can be a challenge and we're going to have to adjust that. Now we need an area to work. And my personal preference is behind me. I work on a table that's adjustable, that can be raised or lowered, and it's just the right size to take pictures of just about anything. You'll also see that there is, it looks like a sheet hanging behind me. That's my background, and it's my area for staging. Also very important. It doesn't have to be all fancy, just have an area to take pictures. For some people, it's in front of a window or on the deck or in the kitchen or wherever you can adjust your light. That's where your work area is going to be. That's where you're going to stage your pictures. And here you can see Jamie is all ready to go. And that's part of staging, right? She's going to be in the light, good background behind her, and then I'll be able to square that up and take the picture. And there goes my phone. So also behind me, I've got this kit actually came with 3 backgrounds. We don't use the green or the black. We just use the plain white. And what's cool about that is whenever the phone gets confused, we can ask it by touching the screen to rebalance itself. And then it actually brings in the white, and it creates just a stunning highlight or portrait of just the image that you're taking a picture of. So have patience with yourself. You might have to adjust a couple of times, or you might have to go to take that picture more than once, but you'll get there. And as you practice and as you get better, those pictures will definitely come easy. Oh, also behind me, that's like a cheat sheet for when we're taking pictures of certain things, because we like to take certain shots. Let's see. In this case, for background, with our white background and we're having shoes, we'll put something up on if it's a collectible or something smaller, you can actually get a stand and put it on a stand, and that helps to pivot the item and position it in a way where it is the only subject of your photo. And that's very, very important. It is. The most important thing when you're taking pictures, though, is focus. That your image is accurate and the color is true. And when you're taking pictures with a smartphone, for example, hold your hand very steady, not only when you take the picture or release the shutter in this case, but afterwards, because smartphones, they'll delay sometimes. And if you move your hand, like if you get in the habit of taking the picture and then moving on, you might get blurry pictures. So take your photo, hold it in place, pause, and then move on. And you'll find that your photos are a lot more accurate, and you're not going to run into these blurry and you can't read it. Especially with tag shots and anything with words, the buyer is going to be able to need to read it. The image needs to be displayed accurately, so when somebody goes to buy your thing, they can see it for what it is. And your color, we talked about color. That's how we started out. I can't stress how important truer color is. But if you're selling a red coffee mug, then it should be red. I saw a listing the other day for a black leather pair of boots, and they were pink. So there you go. Steady hand, consistency, refocus. That will improve your photography 1,000%, I promise. Be patient with yourself and take a lot of practice. Take a lot of pictures. You know, you don't, I think when people jump into this business, they expect just overnight success, overnight results. And I think that if you are honest with yourself and gauge your progress fairly and accurately, you'll find that if you're doing all these steps, if you're doing it the right way, then you're going to get better. You just have to get better in phases. Lastly, when you take pictures, you should probably point out photographically if there are any flaws or defects in your item, but you'll want to use your words to do that as well. Don't only rely on your photographs to tell the whole story. But again, we're going to use our words. I sound like a kindergarten teacher, but we're going to use our words later in how we can most accurately. Your photos are the first step. My goal here is to help you become more comfortable with your ability to portray your item accurately and effectively online through the pictures that you take. We live in such a short attention span digital era that you have to pay attention to detail. People are going to be scrolling through picture after picture to find whatever tchotchke they're looking for that day, and first impressions matter. So if you've got one shot on Sam's phone when he's at the dentist looking for whatever he's looking for, make it count, make it right, make it good. So thank you for sharing with me this part of my reselling journey. And obviously it's one of my passions. I love pictures, and we're going to have to talk about it again because you can't cram it all into 10 minutes. Certainly it's not the only way, but it's one way. And I hope that you got some nugget out of this, and it will help build a firm foundation for your own photographic journey. Please consider liking this video because I certainly liked joining you and creating it. Also consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and comment below. Look at these videos as a time capsule for others that are on this journey, either now or somewhere down the road. And let's be proactive, constructive, and give back to people that are also wanting to learn more. So post your questions down there. Let's be constructive and support each other. And thank you once again for staying tuned in to wherever this is going to lead us. So until next time, this is Karen saying good reselling 101, sales to you.